Hello, greetings. Welcome everyone to my channel, Real Knows Real. I'm Arlene. Now we're here to wrap up the topic of accountability. Last time that I was here, I mentioned, that I was in the church and I just started getting some bad energy, bad spirits, and my spirit was broken and I left the church and fell back into sin. No, you see, as I shifted further into sin, I found myself, getting an appetite of going back to bars and even some parties here and there. But, as I was there in the bar and I had a few drinks, it wasn't a long time after that I started getting uncomfortable in my spirit. And it's like something was saying to me, like, you don't belong here. Even at some of the parties and even in some of those same bars, looking through the eyes of others, looking at me, I could see that they were saying that I was like an odd number. I did not belong there either. And I would not stay long. I would come home and then I would be so mad at myself, like, you just like wasted your time, wasted money, and what for nothing. I remember one time I went to a party in my region and I wasn't there for long at all. I ordered one drink, a dragon, and I took a few sips out of the dragon and someone walked past me. And when the person walked past me, the dragon fell out of my hand. Yeah, and just broke on the ground like that. And I was so shocked because I was saying, what happened? The person didn't bounce me. I didn't slip and the dragon just fell out of my hand. I went to one particular individual. For some reason, I went to that person and I said, you saw what happened a while ago? And I was telling them, and they said, you didn't spin your roll. And I said, no, sir. So they bought me another dragon, and I accepted it, but I wasn't feeling the vibes at all. And I opened it and I took one sip. And I took one sip and I was like, something just said to me, leave. And I followed the voice that said leave and I walked out of the party. It took me about 10 minutes or so from the party to reach where I was living. And I remember putting the key in the door and opening the door. And as soon as the door opened, I heard gunshot. Gunshot, gunshot, gunshot. And I just hurried up and went in and closed the door and I went to my bed. The following morning, sad to say, unfortunately, 3 persons lost their lives. It was a bittersweet moment because, it's not a good news or happy news to hear that anybody lost their lives, especially in your area, no matter the circumstance. But I was happy that something shifted in me so that I could have lived to tell the tale, and I just want to say on that thought that you see the mind is a very powerful thing, more powerful than we give it benefits. And, we just have to be careful of the thoughts that we entertain in our mind. So many thoughts come through the mind sometime, I'm telling you. We have to leave a space for the voice of God. Yes, or even something good, even a good memory or something. There has to be something here that we can hold on to when all of the bad thoughts and dark thoughts start taking over the mind. Let me tell you, it's many times while I was going through sin, back in sin, I had to rebuke the devil. I had to be reasoning with myself with these thoughts in my mind. Yes, there are some times that I would there and listen, and then the voice of God or something, there was just something inside of me. I would just say, the devil is a liar. I said, the devil is a liar, not today. Yes, because I'm telling you, the mind is very powerful, guys, and we have to leave a space for the voice of God. It reached a point where I just got tired of wasting my own time, wasting money, and not getting anything out of it. I would find myself even in friendships, I would be so kind, giving my all and all of that, and at the end of the day it was just pure deception. And I realized that I just had to find myself back to God, give myself back to God. But there was a time when I even questioned God. Yes, I question God, not doubting Him, but I question God because I know what I saw and what happened in the realms of the Spirit when I got my deliverance. And I held on to that. And I would say, God, I know that you did not take me from all the way there to leave me here now, And I wondered and I questioned myself and I said, I wonder if God, like, deliberately open my eyes to the bad energies and bad spirit that was in the church at the time, for my spirit to get broken, because he knew he had something great for me to accomplish, and I believe probably my spirit was not strong enough to fulfill or take on what he had for me at the time, or even now, because it wouldn't have been at that time, and my spirit just had to get some more development to take on whatever he had in store for me. So, at the end of the day, I thank God. I gave God thanks for everything, for all the brokenness and everything that happened. I survived, and I came out with, different better characters, different mindsets and all of that. And at the end of the day, God get the glory. So on the topic of accountability, guys, it happens in the workplaces, it happens in relationship. Sometimes we just have to be the bigger person and hold ourselves accountable. Sometimes in the workplace, we don't like a person, or we think they're the weaker person. We take set on them, we try to throw them under the bus. We make up all kind of scams and stuff just to give that person some blame or something, for them to look bad or for them to even lose their job. Sometimes we just have to take accountability, guys, in relationship. Sometimes it might seem like it's easier to argue to prove that we are right, but sometimes it's just best to apologize, or sometimes don't even say nothing, or if you're wrong, just say you're wrong and let peace reign. Guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share and subscribe. See you next time. Peace.